My God, what's going on?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling, man. Hey, I know. Look, man, I got some questions for you. I gotta interrogate you right now because you've been away
What?
for so long. But I want to ask you, man, what you been up to, man? What's been the life? What's been the routine of Paul Millsap since we've been on this little hiatus?
Um, it's been a routine for sure.
Yeah.
Waking up. Got a few things that I'm learning, studying. I do that, and then I get to working out and training, and then after that it's family time, man. So I try to keep a consistent routine every single day.
So when you're talking about that routine, I'm noticing you're a little bit more active on social media. I'm seeing you doing some magic tricks, and you're. This is a Paul. I've never seen this Paul before. So I'm like, is this something extra that you're doing now that you have a little bit more time?
Well, I got a little bit more time to do it right now, but also I got a lot of people, man, a lot of family members, a lot of fans, want to see, um, the day in the life of what I do.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people don't know, the other side of me. My family and friends want me to show that a little bit more. They all they see is the serious side. I got a goofy and a fun side also.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask you, Paul. Being a family man that you are, you're at home a lot, man. You're at home a lot.
Yeah.
Has it got to the point where they want to kick you out the house because they see you a little bit too much? Are y'all getting annoyed with one another?
I think after the first few days, I think they conditioned themselves for me. So, you but it's a struggle, man. Being at home, everybody's in the same, in the same house every single day. We're not used to that, accustomed to that, but
Yeah.
we learn to, get accustomed to it and have fun with it.
So obviously basketball is what you do, and that's how you've been able to make your name. And I've seen your career. It's evolved from. First of all, I remember watching you. I got to bring this up, Paul. I don't want to give you an anxiety attack, but when you see this right here, what I mean. I know this probably gives you a lot of nightmares right here. It's watching these Fresno State Bulldogs, my hometown. Now I know that we used to give you work. You remember any of those classes you had back in college, Paul?
I don't remember Fresno giving me work. I remember a lot of good battles, but I don't know if they gave me work or not.
Oh, okay, Paul. Well, the point is, Paul, I've watched you since college, man. And I remember coming into the league, you were just, people labeled you just a bruiser, a rebounder, did all the dirty work. But all of a sudden, you coming in with a handle and, initiating offers from the top of the key. And like you added so much more to your game. Did
Yeah.
you ever did that, I don't know, piss you off at all, like early on when people just try to peg you into just being this type of player?
Well, I was talking to a guy the other day, and we were talking about it, and he asked me, did I want to be a rebounder? Was that like my intention? It's like that wasn't my intention at all. I always thought I was Kobe or Jordan. When I was out on the playground or something. So I thought I could shoot, handle it, dunk. But rebounding was definitely a tool. I used to get to the next level. And after that, just putting in the work to where I was confident to get on the court and do it.
No doubt about that. So obviously, this is a unique time, unique experience for everybody involved, being sheltered. How have you have well have you been able to keep in touch with your teammates? And if so, how are you guys going about doing that? I'm seeing, there's some teams doing Zoom classes where they're working out together. What are you guys doing together to try to stay engaged as a team?
Um, Daily text messages, and we're going to do a Zoom call, in the next few days or so. But I think I speak for a lot of guys when I say, it's been good to just sit back and, be with family and, not to worry about work or the hiatus and everything that's going on right now. So just sitting back and relaxing. And when the time comes for us to get together, we'll be ready.
So with the Denver Nuggets, man, you guys are, off to a really good start. Uh, Third in the Western Conference standings right now. But when a lot of people talk about the contending teams, them here, I was getting a call right now from your teammate Will Barton.
Oh, yeah. My man.
So hold on, before I get back to your Nuggets right now, before I get to Nuggets, talk about Will Barton, Will the Thrill Barton. What is he like? What is he like as a teammate?
Man, he's become a leader on our team. You know, he's always energetic. You know, over the years, you know, he's worked on his game and gotten better to be in a position where he's a starting guard in this league, and you know, he's very good at that position. And you know, he means a lot to our team. You know, he's like the heart and soul of our team, and he's stepped up a lot this year, man. Stepping into that leadership role and helping the young guys, and you know, just being that voice in the locker room.
Okay, he'll appreciate that shout out. Now back to
Hey, that's my
your
guy right
Nuggets,
there,
Paul.
man.
Back to your Nuggets. What I said, there's a lot of people who don't, when they're talking about the top contending teams, seldom do they mention Denver. But you look at the standings, you guys are right there. You've beaten some of the biggest teams in this league. How do you like your chances of really, you know, being a title contending team, and what do you expect out of this team moving forward if the season was able to resume?
I mean, I really like our chances. I think every year we've gotten better. Every year we've shown that we can compete in this league. I think we were getting ready to take the next steps. You know, I think before all this happened, you know, we've had a meeting. You know, just a players only meeting. We've had talks, and we took some losses that we probably shouldn't have lost. So I think, you know, coming around that, you know, we were ready to make a nice little push and a nice little surge. But, you know, when the season continues, or if it continues, you know, I think we still have a really good chance. You know, I think our team has been together the longest out of anybody else that's out there. So I think our chemistry will be a little bit faster to get back on.
Why do you think it is, Paul, where, you know, some people may leave the Nuggets out when they're talking about contending teams? Why do you think that's the case?
We haven't proven anything. You know, I can be the first to say that. You know, we haven't really done anything yet. You know, we've got to the playoffs. We've accomplished our own goals. You know, we've got to the playoffs, and we got a game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think, you know, if we would have did that, that would have put us over the hump. But we still got a lot to prove out there, and I don't think a lot of people still take us serious. And but you know, we don't care. You know, we're still working, a work in progress. We're still working to get to that goal.
Okay. Now, Paul, where are you at in your house right now, man?
I'm in my gym.
I thought so. I just
Yeah.
from the echo and all that.
I'm sorry. I was getting a workout in before all this.
It's something about a gym. You can just hear it, like you just
Yeah.
know when somebody's in the gym. And I want to get to that, Paul, because I got my podcast posted up with Chris Haynes' podcast. Paul, I got to get you on sometime down the road.
Yeah.
But I've noticed, you know, I had Quinn Cook on the pod, and I had Myers Leonard from the Miami Heat on the pod, but I also had Wesley Matthews. And so Wesley Matthews is a vet. You know, he's established himself, and he's been able to collect some contracts in the league. Yeah. And he has a gym at his home. Meanwhile, Quinn Cook, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's in the condo and he's running laps in his kitchen to try to stay in shape. Yeah. So is that going to be the advantage moving forward for guys like you who've been in the league and collected some nice checks, where, you know, you guys been able to get in gyms and still stay in relatively basketball shape?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think a lot of guys still have, you know, places they go, they can work out where they're still social distancing and they're not, you know, in the community or around a lot of people. Having access to a gym, I think a lot of guys built a nice little resume, or, you know a lot of people who own gyms and built those relationships. So I think, you know, a lot of guys are in the gym working. If you're not, you know, you got to find a way to stick to the code and understand, you know, what's going on out here, but also try to get your work in.
No doubt about that. So when you're out there getting your work in right now, what are some things are you working on? Do you treat it as is this is the off season? Because, you know, in the off season, that's when players pretty much expand their games. They can't really do that during the season because, you know, it's all about the team's concept and what can I do to help the team better. So how are you orchestrating your workouts?
It's the first, I guess, after the first 3 days of being home, I went into off-season mode, man. I went hardcore. Still wanting to increase my vertical, you know, get faster, things like that.
Hold on, Paul. Paul, you about 34 now, right? Right, Paul?
35.
You talking about increasing vertical right now?
Yeah.
Is that possible, Paul?
Definitely. I'm gonna show you. Yeah.
I'll be watching. I'll be watching for that.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
have
it's
you?
just
Yeah, go ahead.
putting in the work and making sure you're doing the right things is the main thing, especially at 35. Making sure you're doing the right thing and you still continue to build your joints up and your muscles. But there is a science to it if you know it and you stick to a regimen. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know that science. That's beyond me, Paul. But
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that. So you still talking about doing things to increase your agility, speed, athleticism. How much longer do you see yourself, playing in this league?
Um, as long as I want, to be honest with you, man. Until I wake up one day and say, hey, man, like I can't do it no more.
Oh man.
Who knows when that day may come, but right now I still got the passion and the love for the game, the passion and the love to get better every single day, every summer, try to add something different to my game and, continue to try to progress and get better. Once I lose that love for it, that's when I'll be done with it for sure.
Now there's another love you have off the court where it's the you're working with the PGA. I think you're a PGA Works ambassador. Uh, you're trying to make sure diversity is improved within the workforce of the PGA. What made you decide to get involved with that? And you know, when did you discover that there was a love for golf in your system?
First, it started, well, to answer your second question, it started maybe 6 years ago when
Okay.
I first moved to Atlanta. It was 6 or 7 years ago, I can't remember, but a few of my buddies took me out and we played, and they beat the mess out of me, man. They constantly beat the mess out of me, and after that, I just got in the lab and started working. Wasn't gonna take any more beatings, so got in there, started working, and through that work and through a lot of things that I've learned about golf, that's where I fell in love with it.
So what about the diversity efforts of getting involved as an ambassador? What did you see that you wanted to get involved in and just start some improvement on that front?
Well, I didn't see anything. Going to the going into the golf courses and looking on TV.
Yeah.
You know, and being on a golf course firsthand and not seeing, what I felt like I should have saw and, wanting to help the culture and, help diversify a game that's, not really diverse. I wanted to help and lead that charge.
No doubt. You're definitely doing that, man. It's a big effort. I'll be following you along with that as well. So, we're in a serious situation right now, a pandemic. We've never experienced anything like this before. People always asking me when I'm doing shows, hey, when do you think the league's going to come back? And I'm like, well, I'm an expert in basketball. I'm not a health expert. They
All
they
right.
have to answer that. Is it tough when you're training and working out and really not knowing the unknown, not knowing if the season can resume or not?
I try not to think about it.
Okay.
I think that'll put a little fear in me and the people who sit down and think about it. I try not to even turn the TV on or the news on and follow it from that aspect because there's got to be a level of sanity. There's got to be a level of I got to get up every single day and continue to work and get better because at some point I will be able to go back out and get back to work. So, I try not to live in a fearful state and continue to try to just work and, stay positive about it.
Okay. Well, I think that's the best way to handle it. I want to get to a few questions, Paul, before we get you out of here, man. You see, you got to get to some training, man. Uh, so we got, let me see, Byron is bored. That's his handle name, and I think a lot of us are
Yeah,
feel that way right now.
I should change my name to that.
So Byron is bored. He left a question. He said, as a kid, what were the players that you looked up to growing up?
As a kid, players was of course Michael Jordan. Another one is a sleeper. Was Gary Payton.
Man,
I
glad.
had his shoes. I just loved his approach. His attitude on the court. The way he played defense. And that whole Seattle team actually was one of my favorite teams growing up.
Man, no, that's what's up. So you see, that's what we could talk about right there. So you had his shoes. See, I'm 30, I'm 38, Paul. So
Yeah,
we ain't too
same
far away.
same era.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same era. What was the best shoes in that area? I remember there was one shoe that I got annoyed with. It was the Scottie Pippens, and the reason
yeah.
why I was annoyed with it because everybody had them.
Yeah.
Not everybody had the glove, the Gary Payton shoes. I remember Jason Kidd shoes were hot back then. What was some of the tightest kicks back in our day?
I mean, definitely the Jordans.
Oh,
You know,
man,
you
I
always
couldn't
see
get those.
Jordans.
I
It's
couldn't
up
get
there.
those.
Like I said, I had the Gary Paytons, the green and white ones. Zip up, I wore those at school and
That's what's up,
everything.
yeah.
But also, I think the Penny Hardaways.
Oh, the best.
Yeah,
I was about to say that.
yeah. I always wanted those, but it was too expensive for my mom to get me, so I wasn't able to get those.
No, the Penny Hardaways. There was a graphic I saw a couple days ago. They had all it was like the shoes in the mid '90s all the way to early 2000s,
Yeah,
and those pennies still stick out. The blue white, still like the pennies and the Iversons, of course. The Iverson shoes, man. Those are on point. But no, you just bringing back memories. Let me get to the next question. This is Paul. This is from Miss Kimmy Murph. What are you doing during this quarantine to keep yourself busy? We kind of hit on that. And he said, do you have any, this is a good one. Do you have any suggestions for the league to get you guys back on the court?
Do I have any suggestions? Just make sure everybody's safe. You know, I don't have any suggestions, man. I guess that's why they're paid to do what they do, and I'm paid to do what I do. But my main focus is just making sure everybody's safe. And if we do get out there, making sure that it's a great situation for everybody. I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
No doubt, no doubt. And this is my question, Paul. I got to ask you. I got to put you on the spot. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't put you on the spot, Paul. Who's the hardest player to guard in the NBA?
Right now?
Right now.
Right now. I would say KD, but he's injured, so if not him, I mean, it's still going to be, LeBron or Giannis. Both of those guys are unstoppable. I'm a big fan of Kawhi Leonard and the fundamentals that he put into the game. So I got to throw him up there too. But
so if KD was playing, that would be your
for sure. He's been the hardest guy for me to guard over the years, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah, you just can't. I mean, come on, 7 foot, shoot, pure stroke, like it's hard.
Guard handle,
it's hard. Well, my last question: have you found yourself, a lot of guys when they first started this hiatus, a lot of guys started going on YouTube watching their highlights? Is that something that you did, or did you watch other guys' highlights, or you didn't do
I mostly watch other guys' highlights, man. I get bored of myself. When I start watching highlights, and that makes me want to do it more, or makes me want to go back in that time, and I don't really want to reminisce back in the past. So I watch a lot of other guys' highlights with my son, especially. He's a big, Kyrie, LeBron. I've been watching AI highlights. He loves AI. So I've been watching that and playing a lot of 2K with him, man. So that's really the game of basketball for me right now.
Man, that's a game of basketball for a lot of us, man. For a lot of us. So, Paul, I will say, man, thank you for coming on, man. I'm sorry to interfere your workout, man. I see you getting it in. You trying to increase that athleticism at 35?
Man. Trying to get a 40.
I'll be watching, Paul. I'll be watching, man. I'll be watching. Hey, Paul, thank you for your time, man.
No problem,
is there anything you want to say to the fans real quick, man? Just a parting message.
Man, just make sure you're taking this thing serious. Stay home. Stay safe. Enjoy your families.
That's it. Paul, you be safe, man. I'll see you down the road.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. You take care, fam.